was like, let's just do it.
I love it. So let's get into the book. Before we do, first and foremost, thank you for taking a minute out. And I want to know, 5 years ago, this pandemic was raging, changing our lives all over the world. How did you make it through the pandemic, and how has it affected your life today?
Oh, so for me, I have to say the pandemic was really good because I've always wanted to write a book. I've been traveling so much with Feng Shui all around the world. And what happened was my wings were clipped like everyone else's, right? So all I could do was do my Feng Shui virtually. So it enabled me to sit down and write the book Feng Shui Your Way to Abundance. So for me, it's had such a plus for my own business being going online because before I was just jump in a plane, jump in another plane. So yeah.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. If I was to put you in front of a bunch of 12-year-olds at career day to get a handle on what you do, kind of your scope of your career, it's career day, and the kid in the back of the room is like, hey, what do you do for a living? How do you answer that child?
How interesting. I've never been asked that question before. Saying that, I've had my niece over. So she's got a 12-year-old, funnily enough,
Yeah.
and she loves cats, which I take in street cats. So she was like, so she said to me, Auntie, why do you, what is feng shui? But she didn't say feng shui. She said, what is it that you do that's magic? Yeah. And I say, well, what I do is I go to people's houses, like this room here, right? So I got all the stuff, all the stuff in the all around the room, and I dumped it in one corner. And she went, well, that's horrible. And I went, okay, I'm going to take it all out now. And how does it feel? Oh, that feels much better. So that's what Feng Shui is. And that's how a 12-year-old understood that clutter makes her feel uncomfortable and having everything clean and tidy makes her feel good.
So let me ask you this. What did you want to be at 12 years old? What was your dream job?
Well, 12. Interesting. We had that at school. We were put in front of the you were sent into a room to ask what you wanted to be when you grew older. And I said I wanted to be a reporter, not really knowing what a reporter was. Yeah. So I just thought I'd do that, and not a chance that I was going to do that because I failed my O levels. So I went on to be a DJ.
Okay. So what were these foundational elements? It's an eclectic mix of skills that you have. Take me back to your childhood. What were these foundational seeds that were planted that got into feng shui, being a DJ, being a writer, all of these pieces? How did it happen?
So as a child, I now know I was an intuitive. Never used to know at that age where you were, but I used to answer the phone before it rang and doorbells and all that sort of thing. Used to sense the energies in the bed, the rooms, hated going to bed in the dark, all that sort of thing. My mum couldn't cope with my gifts, as we now call it, and used to send me off to my nana's, which I had the whale of a time because my nanas loved all this because I'm sure some of it must have filtered down through them. So then growing up, my friends were close as they are now. So being around me was quite hard. Even new people come around me, they're like had my nails done today. And the girl said to me, I've been waiting for this boy to contact me and he doesn't contact me since yesterday. So she's holding my nails. And I went, do you really want him to contact you? She goes, yeah. And then her phone goes off with a text from him. And she's like, Janine, how do you do it? I don't know, but that's what I do, right? So intentionally, if someone wants something, that's what I do. So when I was like 17, just before I started being a DJ, there was a major car accident I saw my husband to be in. And I told everyone about it. My mum was furious. Anyway, the accident happened. What I didn't realise was that I was in the car accident and I'd been thrown out. So what I saw was the car accident ahead of whatever. So my mum called a priest, and the priest was meant to tell me to stop doing what I did. Not that I knew at 17 what I was doing. And basically, what he did was he said, just hide it from your mum. She just can't cope with it, yeah. So a couple of years later, I went off and married my husband, and he loved it. So he'd say, oh, get in touch with Linda. Think about my cousin Linda. Get her to come to the phone. Get her to ring you. And I do that, yeah. So it sounds wacky, and it is wacky in realistic, but maybe not so much now. So my girlfriends were like, right, you can't go doing that for a living. So they found Feng Shui for me. So I started to learn Feng Shui, and it meant that I can use my intuition when I go into a house and people want me, but then I can use the practical versions of Feng Shui to make things happen for people. So that's like the series of events that made it like it is.
That had to be confusing to tell you to repress something that almost that came naturally to you. So my question to you is this: who has been that inspirational heroic force in your life that's allowed you to truly be you, to be your authentic you?
Um, there's been a few people through my life. I have to say, the father of my son, he was very, very behind it and very good, very good. But also, like, you seem to, I don't know how you say it. You go into a crowd of people and you meet people that are on the same soul thing as you.
Yeah.
And so I met some teachers that recognized that this what I had, as you can call it, woo-woo or whatever. And they were able to help train me on how to use it rather than abuse it, because a
Yeah.
lot of people use it as fun. Whereas, I was taught how to um, sit in a room, hold something, and then go see whose it was, that sort of thing. Yeah. And we have someone, I can't remember what her name is, a little girl that was taken a long, long time ago, Madeline, whatever. And I was taught by someone quite high up whether she was alive or dead, and he taught us how to do that. So throughout my life, at different times when there's been times that I may have needed someone to come in to help me through something it's like a gift that keeps maturing, so with age. Yeah. So
Yeah.
as soon as I think I've got it all sorted, something else happens. But it was great because, going back to your original question, during COVID, I didn't pass my O level, but I came in contact with somebody who I really liked, and she helped me write the book. So it seems that whenever I need somebody, they seem to turn up, earth angels or whatever you like to call them.
So let me ask you this. There's a lot of people on this planet that tussle with a higher power, with a god, with a deity. But having these clairvoyant gifts so early on in your life, has it been easier for you to be a spiritual being, to understand, to believe in a higher power?
I believe in a higher power. Yes, I believe in energy. I'm not going to give it a label. 3 or 4 people have died in front of me. Not that I've done anything to do with it.
Sure.
Um, and when they've died, literally, they're dead. Yeah. And you can never imagine how they were alive. Yeah. So I believe that the spirit goes on because I've actually seen it. I've also had incidences where you would call them signs from people from the other side. Whatever the other side is, I believe that there is definitely energy that we go towards, that's around us. And Feng Shui, and Chinese astrology, that's exactly what we tap into. The energies in the house, the energies around you.
So talk to me about your latest book.
So I just brought out a book called Feng Shui Your Way to Abundance, and it is, just so you know, abundance isn't always wealth. I think
Right.
I called it abundance because it's health, wealth, happiness, all that. So what it does is it's a very, as I'm talking to you now, it's a very easy book to read and to put into application. I give very easy instructions how to feng shui your house. I give examples of how I feng shui people's houses and the results. I talk about crystals, garden feng shui, tools, etc. But it's just the easiest thing. I have my own radio show on UK Health Radio, and basically, I have picked up so many people who have actually read it and come back to me and said it's the easiest thing I've ever been able to put into application in feng shui.
Feng shui is a very fascinating notion to me. I know when I declutter or I redo things, I always instantly feel better, but I'm not quite sure why. And the reason why I bring that up is how can people find out about the benefits mentally, health-wise about feng shui that may not have it on their radar? What would you urge people to do to get to a point where they orient their lives in a way that will be the most beneficial?
Okay, so the people that don't understand clutter and why you should declutter, what I say to them is go and stand in the corner and we'll throw 20 coats on you. Yeah. and you'll just sit there. And then when we take them off, you're like, that's such a nice feeling. I feel good, you know. So using Feng Shui, the idea of it is that you make sure that all the areas you live in give you that good feeling. And like you say, even I, who am a decluttering freak, I don't know how I always have so much stuff, yeah, because I am always decluttering. But I love to go to the drawer, you know, that drawer in your cupboard where you, as you come in, you throw your keys and you, oh, there's a fuse or whatever. When I have got my mind really full of stuff and I can't think, then I'll go to that drawer, tip it all out, and there's always things to throw away or give away. So for me, decluttering is a tool to bring my energy more into line. And also, when you have clutter in your house, there's like 9 different areas of your life in your house. It's explained in the book. And say you wanted wealth, yeah, the southeast holds the wealth in your house. Okay, so if that's full of clutter, then you won't be getting any money. If
Wow.
in this, if in the southwest you have clutter or the wrong things in it, which I tell you what are the right things to have in it, your relationship will be rubbish. More often than not, I go to someone's house and they're like, and they will not know that they're doing it, but they have a picture with themselves with their dog in the relationship area, and that's their relationship because it's the energies pick that up. So they brought me in to meet somebody. So immediately I get the picture of them and the dog. Out you go. Let's start from here. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Interesting.
simple.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. So what, being a practitioner of helping people declutter and find a better way in life ultimately means that you have to walk into levels of people's lives that can be difficult. How do you protect yourself and what ultimately motivates you every day consistently to do a great job and also protect your soul and nurture your soul?
Okay, so when you say protect, I don't feel the urge to do anything like put a black cloak around me or anything
Sure.
like that. Um, I'm very well, I always get people's date of birth before I go into their house, whether I do a virtual one or I do actually one in real life, go and see them. What you find though, what I found is I don't have time for the time wasters. The people that, you know, like they have every cleaning product under the sink to clean their house, but their house is dirty, right? So
Yeah.
I am the feng shui person, and I always say, you know, no one said it's easy, but when I come in and I say do this and do that, it will work, but you have to do it. Just because I walk in the building and the phone starts ringing like I do for businesses, they're like, could you just sit in the office, Janine? And I'm like, no, 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 you need to do this, this, and this. But while I'm in there, before I go to any consultation, I set myself up with what the person wants because they've already told me what I'm going into. So I'm going in with on full manifestation power, and then getting them up to what they want to do and then showing what they have to do. Because I know we've changed the subject a little bit, but manifesting isn't just about thinking, it's about doing. So when I go in, I know what they're looking for, and then I find that in the house, and then we work with that. And then it just gives them the energy, you know, it's that's it. And obviously, I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So let me ask you this. Who is alive on the planet right now that you're fascinated with that you would love to meet and talk to? Is there anybody out there?
Yeah. Gosh, you were saying so. I think the other day. Um, I'd like to make meet our Prince William and Catherine
Yeah.
because I've done their charts and they're in for a pretty big time, and I'd like to be there and support them through it. Oh, I have lots of famous people I'd love to meet. You've got me on the thing, I can't even think of anyone. There's also someone who does a lot of rescuing with street cats, and I would love to meet them. But obviously they're quite far away and all that sort of thing. Um, I'm really into people that are really kind. So sometimes people in history I would have liked to have met that have made differences. Um, because I have this whole thing about kindness makes all the change. It sounds like I'm a bit like that, but people like that I really want to meet because I like to see how people are driven,
Yeah.
like you. You know,
Yeah.
you know, I've Googled you. I know about you and seen what you do. So you obviously love what you do.
Well, thank you. I got to bring up the cat thing. And I got to tell you, one time I had Reiki one time and there was cats everywhere. I've always been really fond and into cats and I wonder in the lineage of our lives, and as you said, our soul moves on, if there was a past with cats. I've always wondered that because do you feel like you've had a past with cats? What is this proclivity that you have towards that vibe?
Well, for me personally, as a little girl, I didn't like dolls, and I had a little white cat, and I he was my doll, he was my pram, and I did everything. Now you're going to think I'm really crazy. One of my latest street rescues about 2 years ago, I was walking past the fish and chip shop, and there's a little ginger cat, and I swore it said "Save me," yeah, and I was like, so I went into the fish and chip shop, and I was like, is there anyone know about this cat? And they go, oh, he lives in the flats, but he doesn't look after it. So I said, oh, I can't take it. And then two months later, I got a phone call about it. And I went down and it had a broken tail and broken paws and that broken paw. And so I just picked it up, took it to the vets, saw if it was chipped. No, it wasn't chipped. Okay, took it home, got it mended, and thought, oh, I'll move it on because I moved cats on to good homes as well. He's having none of it. None of it. He moved in, he lives here, he's part of the. I've got six. Please don't think I'm an old lady living by myself. Because trust me, I'm a bit of a high chick out there. But he has this total as if he's talking to me.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes there is this for me, they're not just cats. There's energy. So you have the cats, some cats that just are, they get on with their lives and
Yeah.
you're not very interesting to them. But this one, Cat, is. And by the way, he's called Cat because I wasn't keeping him. So I
Yeah.
just called him Cat.
Yeah. Well, my stepdaughter wanted it around 2020. She had this dream that she wanted to rescue an old cat so it could live its life out.
Oh,
So they always know I'm the softie because I'm the cat guy and stepdad and just how I roll. So they bring it up
yeah.
to me. I had a couple drinks. I'm like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, uh-oh. So we go and get this cat, and her name's Franny. She's an orange cat, and we've had her, and I think she's in her 20s now, and she won't
Wow.
stop. She just keeps
Wow.
going. She's always around, always like meowing and ready. And it's just wild how the spirit of animals just keep going and going and going. But it's great that it's come to fruition and that I think Franny's going to have a wonderful end of life with us. And I
Well
don't know that
done,
the
you.
cat's ever going to leave this planet.
Interesting you said about Freddie being, because Cat's orange as well. So,
Yeah, I know. When you said that, I was like, that's it. But
oh, did I? Oh.
yeah, so yeah. So let me ask you this. Of everything that you've done and accomplished in your life, all of these interesting magical journeys you've been down, what are you the proudest of?
What was I proudest stuff of? Well, that's an easy one, isn't it? That's my son.
Yeah,
I know that that's probably the answer you think everybody gives, but he's a better version of me in the way that he's so kind. Everybody loves him. He's just such a nice person. He's not nice all the time because he's a boy.
yeah,
Not that's against boys.
right, right.
But yeah, it would be that. I think the other thing that I would be proud of is the different things I've been able to do to help the people. My job, my career, my passion has allowed me to earn money, which we need, and I'm able to do what I want with it. So if somebody in my help, like one of the charities I work for, the Ginger Cat Rescue, if they want like a cat coat outside, I'm able to go, I can help you. So that for me, the fact that I have this lovely ability to earn money, that sounds great, doesn't it? But I'm able to give it away. So that for me is that's the journey of saying thank you for what I've been given, really.
So let me ask you this. At the end of the day, everyone has a perception of you. Family, friends, clients, everyone that knows you, but you run the show. What's your perception of you? Who do you think you are?
Ooh, you do have questions, don't you? Um, I think, well, it's interesting because everyone does have different perceptions for me. I don't have time. If I have time to think about me, which I don't really, but randomly I've taken a step down on something, I find that I love to walk. Never thought, because I'm a Range Rover girl. I told you as a bit of a hot chick.
Yeah.
Range Rover, Porsche is that. But I've learned to walk, yeah. And while I'm walking, I'm loving the nature side of it. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I live by the sea. So for me, I think there's two parts to me. The quieter Janine that loves to be around nature, just watching some gannets do what they do in the sea, and the other one. I don't think there's an intermediate between them. I'm either this or this.
Yeah, no, I get it. So let me ask you this. If you could get into a time machine and go back in time and see one event in human history with your own eyes, watch it happen, it wouldn't affect, wouldn't put a tear in time, what event would you love to see with your own eyes?
Oh, this is such a weird thing, right? So, um, you know, I'm trying to think when they used to do in the time where they would do waltzes and they'd be in oh, I'm leaving a gap in this. I'm trying to think like Van Gogh, you know, when they just had all the instruments and all the women were dressed in the big buffer dresses and that.
Yeah,
I would just simply like to go back there. I don't have a big history thing. I don't need to go back here. I would just love to feel the magic of just dancing to that music in one of those big ballrooms and that, because music's a big thing for me. So I can't go and say I'd like to meet someone, you know, Queen of Sheba or anything. It would just simply be the atmosphere that that could have given, really.
that's wonderful. So if anyone wants to get the book, they want to reach out, anything more, where do they go?
Simon Schultz got it, Amazon have got it,
Okay.
any American company that you know,
Okay.
it's out there. It's out there in America,
I
as in the
love it. I love it. I'll
UK.
put links in the show notes. Thank you so much. This has been great. So great to talk to you. Thank you so much. Best of luck with everything.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.